Hey guys, Will from Tested.
Norm from Tested.
We're here today for Internet TV connected streaming media fandango.
Those set-top boxes, we've reviewed all of them, but which one is the best?
Well, they all do different stuff, so it's hard to tell definitively which one is the best. So we're gonna look at top 5 categories,
Netflix,
the things we think are important.
Local playback.
Let's get to it. Netflix streaming.
It's probably the most important thing.
It's like
set-top boxes
99% of all traffic on the internet is Netflix streaming.
Yeah, you can't buy one without Netflix streaming. So which one's the best?
Well, Roku, Xbox 360, both are good Netflix streaming interfaces.
Yep, Roku's actually made just for Netflix. Xbox, with all the upgrades, really good.
But Apple TV is the best.
It's the absolute best.
You can drill down into and actually browse stuff by actor, director.
Search works really well, even though you're just using the Apple remote.
Much deeper browsing experience, really lets you get into the metadata. I like this a lot, and it's quiet. It doesn't have an annual fee. Apple TV wins Netflix.
So the other thing that we really want to do with the set-top boxes is local streaming, getting the video files from our computer to our home theater.
So like home server, Windows,
either with
whatever.
Network shares or with home servers, UPnP, DLNA,
whatever, yeah.
And the best one is the Boxy Box. It's kind of new, but it does a great job indexing your files. Streaming is fantastic. Does 1080p.
And the best thing is, it pulls down metadata based on the name of your files. So instead of looking at a giant list full of names that are like, Mary Poppins, parentheses 1954, you just see the cover art with Julie Andrews right there.
Some of the other boxes will have the same type of file compatibility, but Boxy plays all the files. It'll do subtitles, multiple audio tracks.
It's awesome. Totally rad. Okay, so lots of these boxes also support third-party content. Stuff not from them, not from Netflix.
Like web streams that you can already watch now on your PC. So like the Google TV has a web browser, but you have to use a clunky remote.
It's terrible.
With
You have to use a mouse.
Nobody wants to maximize the window. No good.
Yeah.
And then Roku has web streams in the form of apps, right? But these apps, it's okay.
They're pretty good.
Yep.
There's not a huge support for those yet, though, it seems like. So we like Boxy.
It has a huge selection of apps that users have created, so you can actually do MLB TV, ESPN, Whiskey, some Whiskey sites.
Some Whiskey stuff is on there. I mean, there's a ton and ton of free content, and they'll also kind of appify web content. So stuff like South Park Studios. To you, it looks like an app when you're using it, but really they're just kind of scraping the web page, grabbing the flash, dumping it in there.
Very tightly integrated. You don't see the web browser at all.
So another win for the Boxy Box. Sometimes I want to watch stuff, well, I got to spend money on.
That isn't free. Not everything is free.
Not everything.
So on these set-top boxes, there's rental content and purchase content, you can purchase.
I love to rent.
Renting is fine.
I don't like purchasing. I like to buy discs.
Not because you're against the concept of buying stuff, but because the interface is so bad.
Well, the interface is bad, the quality's not as good, and the disc-based formats are all relatively easy to rip these days. The downloadable formats are pretty hard to crack.
On like the WDTV Live Hub, there's Blockbuster. You can buy content. It's expensive, and it just stays in the box. You can't really move it anywhere. Not that great.
If I'm paying 10 or 15 bucks for something, I want a DVD or a Blu-ray.
Yeah. So renting content, what's the best?
Apple TV, clear winner. Roku, Google TV, all of these other boxes support Amazon Video on Demand. The service is okay. The quality's not so hot in my experience. Apple totally pulls it out on this one with a box that is easy to use, and the downloads are fast and look pretty good. Not Blu-ray quality, but okay.
While you're not going to get all the content you want to rent, the implementation is the best on all these boxes.
Yes. Fastest, easiest to use.
So these set-top boxes, they're not going to be good unless you can get through the UI easily.
If the UI sucks, it doesn't matter how awesome everything else is if you have to use some horrible remote.
And that's why people buy
Look at this.
set-top boxes instead of building an HTPC. And with remotes, I mean, Apple's really minimal. These are the opposites.
These are the ends of the spectrum, right? Full 140 key keyboard with a mouse, touchpad over here, versus like 6 buttons.
Yeah.
What's best? I find something kind of happy in the happy medium. I like the Boxy remote. It has some UI usability problems in that it's symmetrical. You can't tell which way is up or down, but it has a keyboard on the back. It's not the best keyboard, but it is a keyboard. And then the simple controls on the front for pause, play, navigating the menu. This one's got to go to Boxy.
But the one thing to note is that while the design is the best, it actually uses a RF signal, radio signal. So you don't have to point it at the Boxy box, but you can't use a universal remote like the Logitech Harmony.
My Harmony's useless with this guy, which is
so
a
if
big
you
bummer.
love the Harmony, the WDTV Live Hub actually works best with the Harmony remote.
So that's the category by category breakdown. The takeaway?
There is no best box.
No.
It really depends on what you have at your home theater right now and what you need. So for me, I'm going to take home the Boxy Box. I have Xbox 360, does Netflix great. Boxy Box, no Netflix right now, but I have so many ripped DVDs. I want to give that to my home theater. Boxy Box does that perfect.
Well, and no, you don't have to use a DLNA client, server, or anything like that, so it's easy to set up.
Yep.
I'm on the same boat. I'm taking the Boxy Box for stuff that I've ripped, but I like to rent first run stuff. So I'm also going to plug in an Apple TV so that I can hit the button and get the $4 quick rental on new release movies. Okay, so that wraps up TV Streaming Box Season 2010. You can see all the reviews down below. They're down at the bottom of the page. For Norm, I'm Will. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.